Hey besties, welcome to or welcome back to my chronically cozy life and my podcast, Cozy Chats, where I am talking to other chronically ill and neurodivergent entrepreneurs, and we are talking about life and business and what it is to build this for ourselves. Today I am talking to Jackie Norton. She is the author of Burden, a Year of Journals from Someone Living with a Chronic Illness. And today she's going to be sharing her story of like everything, of writing, of publishing. And I'm so excited. Jackie, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
It's so fun. I'm having such a great time with these podcasts and I love hearing all these stories. Like everybody has something unique, and also we have so many things that really connect us, and it's so beautiful, and I love it so much. I do dislike that a lot of what connects us is like the gaslighting of it all.
Yeah. Well, it's good that we have that community where we can like vent about it with each
Yeah,
other.
exactly, right? So thank you so much for being here. Tell me about you. Tell me about your journey.
Sure, yeah. So I got diagnosed with long COVID and POTS and mast cell activation syndrome and dysautonomia, all within the past year. I've been dealing with it since 2021, like the end of 2021, but I just got diagnosed with all of that. But I am living in Salem, Massachusetts right now with my husband and our two cats, and just sort of needed I needed some way to like vent about everything that was going on, and my therapist was like, maybe you should start journaling, and I was like, okay, I guess, whatever. And I was basically just be like yelling into my notes app most of the time of like doctor's appointments that like went horribly bad or whatever. And then I had let my therapist read some of it, and then I had let my husband read some of it, and he was like, this is actually like really good, and I feel like people could like relate to it. Maybe you should like make like a blog or something. And I was like, I don't know, like I feel like I'm too tired to do all that and keep it up. But then I started writing more in the beginning of 2024, and it was mostly a way for me to sort of one vent about everything, but also like track my own progress of like what was going on in my life, because I had sort of come to a stop. Like I was in a really bad flare with my autoimmune disease, and I just came out of the hospital, and I was like, okay, I think I need to like take some time for myself and really like um, go inward, and I really couldn't do anything anyways because my autoimmune disease is one where I get like these infected cysts on my body, and they had opened into like ulcers, and I couldn't like walk or like sit or anything. So I was like sort of like forced to be with myself. And it was a lot. So I started talking to one of my friends, and she was like, I think you should start journaling again, and maybe you could turn it into a book. And I was like, well, I don't know if anybody's gonna want to read that. So I was like, I don't know, I'll try. But I was like, I'm just gonna journal and see what happens. So I just sort of started journaling um, as much as I could. I wasn't putting any pressure on myself for it to sound a certain way or for it to be done, even if it didn't even be completed. By the end of 2025, I was like, I think I have enough material for a book, and um, I didn't tell anybody about it. The only people who knew were like my husband, my parents, and that one friend who told me to write the book. Because I didn't want any like more pressure on myself,
Mm,
because chronic illness is a lot of pressure in general, so we don't really need to stress ourselves out more. So I started doing it like secretly, like editing it secretly, and then I was like, after it was done and completed, I was like, I guess I could try and like see if anybody wants to pick it up. Um, and I must have like sent it to like 50 agents, and at least half of them replied back and was like, I really like your writing and I like the idea of it, but there's not really like a market for chronic illness. And that kind of made me sad. And I was like, I wish that there was, because there's so many stories that should be
Yeah.
heard from, you know, people who are disabled and chronically ill or neurodivergent, and we have stories to tell, and I wish that there was a more like a market for that. And I was like, well, I don't really want to give up. I put a lot of energy into this, so I was like, I'm just gonna learn by myself how to self-publish it. And even if like two people read it, at least I feel like I accomplished something. And maybe those two people could feel validated and it could help them.
Yeah.
Um, so, and then I so I learned how to self-publish. I basically like just watched a lot of videos on YouTube and read a bunch of articles, and I felt like I was kind of in like school, like learning how to do it. And then in September, I finally released it, and I have since then I have met so many amazing people in this community who have been so supportive. And I've had people messaging me about the book and telling me that like they feel like they're like talking to like their best friend, and that they're
Oh,
like feeling validated, and it's like they're showing their family and being like, this is what I've been trying to tell you and you should read this story. And I've had like people say that their parents have read it and now they understand them more, and it's like been really like validating for me too,
that's
because
so
like that's
good.
exactly what I wanted. And it's like I know that it's
Yeah.
not, uh like a mainstream book, but for something that's self-published that's only been out for like a
Yeah.
month, it's been a really good like um uh, I've gotten a lot of support and it's been really good. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's so exciting. I'm so glad for you. I love that. I think that there really is a market for it, and I understand why healthy people don't think that.
Mm-hmm.
Because why would they want to read it so much?
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
unless it was like that kind of like, I hate it, that disability porn kind of like
Yeah.
inspirational,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
look how I overcame everything
Yeah.
kind of story. Like, why do they want to read it? I get it. But, like, we want that. We want more of it. We want to see it. And it is so important to our community because, like, other people sharing their stories of everything is like what helped me get my diagnosis. So
Mm.
like, and
Yeah.
it helped me connect with everybody because like I'm hypermobile, and that's something that's like generally considered very rare. It's very
Mm.
misunderstood because it shows up like with a lot of other things. It shows up also in connection to like POTS and MCAS and all
Yeah.
of those other things, like because why would you want just one? um
Right.
so like people sharing their stories is so important. Like that was my whole reason for starting this podcast, because those stories help us make those connections to things
Yeah.
and help us deal with things and help us figure out the language to tell other people.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big one. Like just having some
Yes.
people describe things and I'm like, yes, that's how you describe it. That's what it is. Like, and it's so much easier.
Yeah, I actually had somebody a couple days ago message me and they're like, I think I have your same autoimmune disease. I've been dealing with this like weird skin infection thing since I was a kid, and nobody has ever told me what it was. And she's like, you described everything I've been dealing with my whole life, and I think this is what I have. And I was like, oh my God, like so I gave her all the information I could to get like her to give like the proper diagnosis, and she like scheduled with the correct like dermatologist who like specializes in this autoimmune disease. So like I'm like, wow, like I can't believe like my book just like helped somebody like potentially, hopefully get diagnosed with like the right, autoimmune disease, and that's she's been struggling with.
Getting those diagnoses are so hard. You're really lucky that like it's only taken you this long. I think most of us have like it takes like I hear on average hypermobility is like at least 10 to 15 years to get a
Oh my
diagnosis
God.
from like first sign of symptoms because of like the way it shows up. It
Oh
took me
my
close to
God.
17. It's yeah, it's a
Oh,
lot. And it's
that's
like,
crazy.
and that was like 7+ years of me knowing what it was
Yeah.
myself and
Yeah.
just not being able to get a doctor to like label it on
Yeah.
the chart, like
Yeah.
because why, right?
Yeah. I feel like,
How did you find the medical system as you were going through it?
oh gosh. I feel like the same as you. I knew what I had because I had been my own doctor. Like I
Yeah.
feel like we all need like honorary like doctorates for all the work that we put in to try to do.
I could have gone to be a doctor in the time it took me to get a
Yeah, for
diagnosis. I
real,
could have
for
gone and
real.
got it myself, for
Yes,
real.
that's exactly. I was like sitting in offices being like, I have MCAS, like I have long COVID, and they're like, well, maybe, and I'm like, no, like I don't think I have it,
They
like
don't love it when you do the diagnosing. You have to like let
yeah.
them think that they figured it out, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, they had this like an ego thing or something, like not really sure what's going on there, but
It's
yeah,
so crazy.
it was crazy. So, and that's kind of funny because what kind of happened to me was when I was doing my own research, the way that I realized all the stuff that I had, all the diagnoses, I like found that out from other people's stories. Like I was reading articles
Yeah.
that people had written themselves, or like even like on Reddit,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
figuring out I'm like, oh my God, this is exactly what I have. And then like trying to like show, like I'd like print out stuff that other people would share with me and like bring it to the doctor with me, and they would be like, well, I can't look at that because it's not like my research. You know what I mean? And I'm like, my God. I was going to like 4 doctor's appointments like a week, and
Oh,
like yeah, it was
and that
insane.
is just exhausting.
Yeah, exhausting on yourself, and then especially because like with the chronic fatigue, and uh, I I was basically running on like zero energy. I was
Yeah.
like in survival mode basically, and trying to get all these diagnoses. And what really got me upset was last year. I finally got scheduled for the dysautonomia test, the table tilt test, and I
Hmm.
went through with it, and it was terrible. And then for a year, I never heard back from the people who did the testing, and I kept like messaging the doctors and being like, "Where's my test?" And they're like, "Oh, we can't find the test." I was like, "What do you mean? I went through it. Like, I have the proof." You know what I mean? Like, of like the
You lost my tests?
yeah.
Like,
I'm
what
like,
do you mean?
so then I like, but then to schedule another appointment to get back in with my cardiologist to talk about it, I had to wait like 8 months to get back in. So then I get there at my like a year later, and he's like, "Yeah, we can't find it, but I'm gonna find it tonight. Don't worry." And I'm like, "Okay." So then the next morning he's like,
And
"I
in the
found
last
it."
8 months, you were doing.
I'm just waiting. Like I'm like, and then you're like, yeah, yep, you have dysautonomia. Like here's the stuff that you can do. Here's like the PT we're gonna do. Here's some medication. I'm like, I could have been doing this for a year. Like you guys like lost my test and then didn't decide to find it until the day I came back to you. I was like, it's like I hear so many stories like that from people. Like I'm like, this is insane. Like I could have had treatment for a whole year now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And these are the big reasons why I'm a huge proponent of like self diagnosis because, like, if you knew what you knew, like, there's a lot of things that, like, I know now that like it's probably pretty likely that that's what I have. I've looked up what they would do for treatment. It's not medications, so I can do it like most of it's stuff that I can
Yeah,
do
yeah.
myself. So, I don't have the diagnosis on a piece of paper yet. I've got a test this week. I've got an
Ooh.
appointment at the hospital that I've been waiting on for, I believe, 7 months now. So, yeah, the waiting.
Oh
The
gosh, the
waiting
waiting.
is like it's literally killer. It is going to do us all in, and
Mhm.
cause so I'm up in Canada, and so that's one of the things with everybody I've been talking about, like the comparison of things, and like
Oh yeah.
everyone's kind of like in this debate of would I rather the cost of it all or the waiting of it all, and like it sounds like you had to wait for like a fair amount of time too, but like
Yeah,
we
yeah,
have just like crazy wait times. Like, sure, it
yeah,
doesn't cost us that much if something bad happens,
yeah,
but
yeah,
if we need like tests or a specialist or anything, like
yeah.
up to a year is fairly likely for any of
Crazy.
that. It's so
Wow.
crazy.
My friend who told me to write my book lives in Canada too, and we talk about this stuff all the time. We're like
Yeah.
I'm going broke, but you're like waiting forever. There has to be something that we like. There has to be a better system for both of us.
Yeah. Can we meet in the middle? Can we make it like less expensive and like pay the doctors well to be around and
Yeah,
Maybe
exactly.
work on the system a little bit because I'm certain that the system is just
Yeah, there
horribly designed.
has to be a better way, like for everybody
Has to
involved.
be. I just like I always feel like there's such smart people out there that like really should be able to solve these problems.
Mhm.
Like we know they're problems. Nobody's like denying that.
Yeah, yeah, it's
There's
crazy.
gotta be. There's gotta be somebody out there that's smart enough to figure it out. Except for, then there's greed. So,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and I mean, we do have to be specific. Not everything in Canada is free. My biggest problem is that most of the treatments for hypermobility would be like things like massage or PT or kinesiology.
Yeah.
And those things are sometimes covered. They're not covered. Kinesiology is the one that I think would benefit me the most, and that one's not covered by my health coverage. And PT and everything like that, that's somewhat covered.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Oh,
so annoying.
that is so annoying.
The
I
whole
actually,
process.
oh, sorry. I was just gonna say there's
Nope.
actually a part in my book where I'm like writing about like um how I'm like really excited because I'm gonna go see this doctor that I've been scheduled for like 7 months, and I'm not gonna leave without the right testing, and I'm like being like I'm gonna do it, everything's gonna be great, and then like the next chapter opens up with they didn't test me for anything, and I went home crying. Like it's like so you're waiting all this time and then not even getting like the answers that you want, or
That's classic. Fucking classic. Like,
yeah,
how often has that happened to me? Like, I don't even.
yeah, yeah, it's crazy. I feel like
It's.
everybody that I've talked to has multiple
Yeah.
stories like that.
Yeah, it's so. It's so sad. Our medical systems, like, the things that keep us alive really need some work. Like,
Exactly.
how is that the thing we're just letting get this
Yeah,
crappy at this
yeah.
point? So ridiculous. So the book,
That's right. So,
your topics. So the book process, the writing process, how was that for you? Like the actually like putting it all into what
yeah.
you actually wanted to put out.
Yeah, so I had a lot of the times I would feel like I kept like just a notes app in my phone because sometimes I would be too tired to like sit up and like journal in my computer. And so I would just open the notes app and like laying down um just midnight journaling uh, what my day was and how it went and what's going on with me. But then sometimes I was so tired that like I couldn't even like move my hands, so I would have to like do like voice to text and like talk into my phone, and that did bite me in the butt later when I was doing my editing because voice to text is like there's like I'm like what word is that supposed to be? I'm like, oh well, okay, I'll just pretend it was this word. Like, I'm like that's what you
And
just
this makes the most sense, yeah.
yeah. I'm like, man, and I'm like getting mad at myself for like earlier Jackie for doing that. And I was like, well, I honestly had no choice because I wanted to like document what I was feeling in that moment, but like if I couldn't
Yeah.
move my fingers, then I had to do it that way. So it took me a long time to edit it because a lot of the stuff was like there was no grammar. There was nothing.
Yeah.
I had to like basically be like, okay, for like a half an hour today, like I'll go through and try to edit it. And then like for a week, I wouldn't be able to edit it because like I'd have too much brain fog or something. And I feel like I had to edit it a lot because of the brain fog. And there's probably still mistakes in there because I'm like, at some point, I'm like, okay, I could keep editing this forever.
Yeah.
And there's still going to be something that I missed. And I was like, you know what? If there's like some like tiny mistake in there, I think it also kind of shows like the brain fog aspect
Yeah.
and
The
like it
reality of it.
the reality of like living like this is like it's not perfect. So it's like and I have no one who's ever like said anything to me has ever been like, oh, I noticed that you didn't put a period after the sentence. It's more like I really respected your honesty and your emotion during it,
Yeah.
so but I did try my best to do that. But
Okay.
the writing process, it usually happened like middle of the night when I couldn't sleep and I was having insomnia. Um, and that was where like my more emotional pieces came from, and then I decided while I was editing it that I wanted to add illustrations to the book, but I'm not an artist. So that was where things came in. I'm like, it'd be really cool if, because I was thinking one day, I was like, as I was writing this, I'm like, I really wish people could actually like see inside my head, like what I'm trying to convey. Like, um,
Hmm.
I wish that there was a way that like you could do that magically or something. And I'm like, well, I could add like pictures in it somehow. So I found this person on Fiverr who actually could draw. So I asked them to help me out, and they so basically in each chapter is a drawing or like illustration of like an entry from that chapter.
That's
Um, and
fun.
I tried to like a lot of my book. How I like to cope with stuff is like humor, and I try to make jokes to like lighten my mood and stuff. So like a lot of my book is like kind of sarcastic, and so some of the drawings I tried to make a little funny to sort of also bring some lightheartedness to the story and stuff. And I really liked that. And after I had the illustrations in there and everything was complete, and I was sending it to agents, I did have one person come back and they were like, "I completely hate your illustrations. I want to get rid of them if we want to do this book together." And I was like, I was like,
Rude.
rude. I know. I'm like, how rude. I'm like, I know that like agents take your book and they try to like shape it to what they think is marketable and
Yeah.
stuff, but I was like, I don't know. And then that's when I had the realization of like, I think no matter what, somebody's gonna try to change the story because they're like a healthy person. So they're gonna want to change something of it. And I'm like, that's when I kind of decided that like, okay, I'm not gonna try to, you know, give it to agents anymore. I'm gonna do it myself because it's gonna be more authentic that way.
Yeah.
Um, so that's sort of how all that whole process went.
Yeah. That makes sense. I like the addition of cartoons and like little drawings. That's so cute. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Um,
I was thinking it added some cuteness to it. I don't know.
like the coping with humor.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I've met a few people who just like who didn't, and I don't know, robots possibly. Just like I can't. Like if you can't deal with a little bit of dark humor, you and I
Yeah.
are not going to
Yeah.
be friends. And I might offend you, and not intentionally, but you just didn't get it. And
Exactly. No, that's exactly how
unfortunately, I got this from my mama. She's been a chronically ill person as well, and our way of like dealing it with it when I was younger was making jokes about it
Yeah,
all. And
yeah.
that's like, cause that's that or you cry. And no one needs a headache and a
You have to
snotty nose. Like,
find you have to find humor in it somehow. Like it's your life. This is what how you're living right now for the foreseeable future forever.
yeah,
And it's
yeah,
like you can't like there has to be some sort of like funniness to it or something. And I was talking to one of my friends that has like really crippling like OCD, and she was like how her partner like gets her through it is by making jokes sometimes because it will like snap her out of her spiral and let her be able to be like to see like the more like logical reason behind
yeah.
things. And she's like some people are like, "Oh my God, but that's like really dark humor and stuff." And she's like, "Yeah, but it helps me like reset." And I'm like, that's
But
how
yeah, I mean, if
yeah.
most people heard my husband helping me through some of my worst times, they would
Yeah.
think he's awful. But he's not. He just knows me and he knows my sense
Yes.
of humor.
Yes.
And like they're funny things, like and it helps.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds horribly insensitive sometimes, but like it is what works.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, the dark humor of it all I do love so
Yeah.
much. I've definitely I've definitely made the wrong jokes in healthy company.
Yeah. Because then they're like, "Are you okay?" And like,
They
yeah,
really don't appreciate unaliving jokes so much at all. Nope, didn't get those ones. Also started dealing with it too by like othering my chronic illness. Like
Mm.
it is part of me, but like I yell at it sometimes. Like
Yes,
it's its own entity,
yes, yes.
and that kind of makes me feel better because I need something to yell at for real. Like
Yeah,
got some
yes.
anger,
It's
I need
like,
something to yell at. So I yell at the illness, and I yell at my brain, and I tell it to
mhm.
smarten up and stop acting like this. And it
Yeah,
doesn't listen to me like a bratty child, but
yeah, yeah. I've definitely been there. I know exactly what you're talking about.
and then that's another one where like I'm like, "Come on, Nee, what are you doing? Why are you being like this?" And somebody else is like
Exactly.
looking at me like, "Are you talking to your knee?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's being a jerk."
Yeah, exactly. Maybe it will listen to me, and it never does. So,
Yeah, right? Oh man, the amount of
exactly.
things that like we do in healthy company that people just like give us the weirdest looks for,
Hmm.
and but everybody else would just be like, "Nah, I see what's
Yeah,
going on
yeah.
there." That's been one of the like more fun parts about like discovering the neurodivergent side of myself is like being able to be like, "Oh, wait a minute, I see what's happening here."
Yes, yes, yeah. It's funny because like it's interesting I should say that a lot of people in like the disabled and chronically ill communities have actually been like some of the most funny and creative people that I've met, and I
Right?
think like it's born out of this trauma or something. But it's like I'm like,
Trauma
wow, I've
makes
had
us hilarious.
it really does. Like I'm like wow, like from the people I've met from like marketing my book and trying like I sent a couple of copies to some um like chronic illness or disabled like influencers, some to read
Yeah.
for free and to give me their thoughts on it and stuff. And I've met like uh this girl who she directs like independent movies and she's like super talented. I've met like this girl who writes like poetry books and other girl who writes like these fantasy novels of people who have like chronic illness, and it's like I'm like why are we just so talented and funny and
Beautiful,
like
right?
yeah.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
what
And
is going
like
on?
and so freaking determined. Like we have
Yeah.
no right to be. Like
Hmm.
there's nothing behind it, but we want to go. No, and I've like noticed this since I started like making this more of a community thing and doing the podcast and doing like I've been taking in guest posts and building my directory. Just
Hmm.
like so many people have the most creative ideas
Yeah.
and like the art that people are making. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, we have such talented artists in our
Yeah.
community. And like especially when you mix in that like neurodivergent group like
Hmm.
outside of the
Yep.
box
Yes.
was like
Yes.
a mile away. Like they're just like out there doing things and
Yeah.
like making it work. And
Yep.
like so many people are like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you did that." But like also, we have to. Like
Yeah.
this is what it all
Hmm.
this is what we
Yeah.
have to do. This is how we live. This is how we're surviving.
Yeah.
And I mean, I always do believe that if you're going to have to do something every day all day,
Hmm.
it should make you happy.
Oh, absolutely.
It should
Absolutely.
bring you joy. And like I kind of questioned whether working in business would and like marketing would. But once I started connecting with more people and really like getting into that like marketing is community and is connection side of
Hmm.
everything, it's
Yeah.
beautiful. I love it. So
Yeah.
great.
My husband was like, "You're gonna learn how to like publish your own book," and he's like, "I was
That
like,
too is
yeah."
yeah.
I'm like, I feel like I have no choice. Like, I'm gonna do it. I felt like
Yeah.
it's something I had to do, and I had like this, like, I don't know, like this force being like, you have to do it. Like, I just felt like this, like ambition to be like, because I got told no so many times, and that, like, they're like, oh, people aren't gonna want to read this book or whatever. And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
there is a market. Like, I have the force of all the community of the chronic illness, the disabled, like all of that behind
Yeah.
me. And like you said, we're all just like really determined to people, and like we're doing things that people are like, what are you doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, I know
Yeah.
I got this. Even if it takes me a year or 2 years, I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm gonna find a way how to do it. And I used to really love going to school, and then I had to drop out when I got sick. So when I was like sort of learning how to self-publish, it kind of felt like I was like putting myself back into school, and
Yeah.
I really did love it. It gave my brain something to focus on as a distraction too from all of the you know
Yeah.
stuff that we go through. Um, and then the sense of accomplishment after is just really, and it's a good way for us to
Absolutely.
be like creative too. Like, being, it was something to like pour, like you said, this trauma is creating a lot of like creative and funny art. And it's a good way to like get all the stuff that's in our head onto something, even if like you're a
Yeah.
painter, you're a writer, you're doing podcasts. It's like it's a way for us to channel all of that stuff someplace that's like accomplishing something.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Brain stopped.
Yeah,
And
I
see,
love
for
it.
real, it's a thing. This is just, I don't even know, like, the
I didn't
actual
have brain fog
publishing.
all day until right. I had brain fog. I was brain fog free until like 20 minutes before the podcast, and I was like, perfect. I'm like, we'll be brain fog together.
Like, I just kind of knew it going in this week. I was like, I'm going to be doing this very busy week that I have a lot of things going on and all things that I'm very excited about. So I'm going to be doing this anxious and foggy and tired because I'm stressed.
Hmm.
Like, it's just the accepting of, all
Yeah.
right, so these are the things I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to be doing it feeling shitty.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that's what I was gonna say. I really like how you said, like, it might take me 2 years, but I'm gonna do it, because that's the big thing that, like, we have to do differently. Like, and that's the
Yeah.
big thing that I teach in, like, my coaching and stuff, is that, like, we have to do things a little differently, and
Mhm.
sometimes that means flexibility, and sometimes that means slow growth, and that means
Yeah.
celebrating those little wins, like being able to do those things yourself and learning those steps yourself. Like,
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
and just like accepting and like integrating all of that into your life along with the self-care and management of it all. And it's a
Mhm.
lot. It's a
Yeah.
lot for most people, and
Yeah.
it is what we have to do though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I remember actually my therapist when I was first going through all of this. I was like supposed to go on a vacation, and I was like, I don't know if I can go on this vacation because I feel shitty. I feel I'm like really tired. Like, and I still didn't know what was going on. And she's like, go anyway. And I was like, I think, and then that sort of stuck with me, and it was like what you were just saying. Like, I have, all these podcasts lined up. I want to be writing this book or whatever, and I feel really
Yeah.
shitty. It's like, well, okay, I'm gonna feel shitty while I'm doing it. Like, I'm gonna do
Yeah.
it anyway, and I'm just gonna have to
Yeah.
do it differently. Like, I went on that vacation, but that was the first time I used a wheelchair. And so I went on the vacation, but I just did it differently, and I still got to enjoy myself. So I got to still self-publish a book, but I did it a lot slower than like a healthy person would. So it's like we're very
It's
good
all
at
about adapting.
adapting. Yes. We're very good
Yeah.
at adapting. Yep. Mhm.
Like, I will be the first to admit that it is the most freaking frustrating thing. Like, every time I remind myself I have to pace myself and that I
Yeah.
have to, like, be okay with the slowness,
Mhm.
I'm frustrated.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I can't pretend that I'm not. I can't
Yeah.
pretend that, like, it's all perfect and rosy. But, like, at the same time, when I do pace myself and then I go back to doing what I was doing, I feel better doing it and things get accomplished. And then I
Yeah.
feel happy about that. And, like, that sense of accomplishment, too, is huge,
Mhm.
especially when you've had so many things taken away.
Mhm.
Like, there were so many things I intended to do
Yeah.
and have not done because of my chronic illness. And like, so every time I do get to do something, being really grateful for that and
Oh,
really acknowledging the fact that you've gotten to do
yeah.
these things.
Yeah, that's kind of what I did when I went on that vacation, and I realized that like, if I ever wanted to like walk longer distances or use more energy, like I had to sort of be in a wheelchair or use like a mobility aid. And at first I was like really thinking negatively about it, and it took me a long time, but I was always like, oh, I can't believe I have to use this, but my life has changed. And then I kind of I was slowly over months and months of therapy, I was able to be like, wow, I'm grateful that wheelchairs exist. So now that
Yeah.
I can use it to go do what I need to go, I can go use it to go to the store. I can go use it to, like I can still have a life with it. And now I love my chair. I decorate it. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Yeah.
it's
That
like,
mindset around it all
yeah,
is so big, and I've talked about that with a couple people, like, and especially when it comes to using mobility aids,
yeah,
like, and accepting the terminology of it all. Like, I went from, like, I am a person who has chronic pain to, okay, I think I am chronically ill, to fully,
yeah,
like, I have a disability. Like,
yeah,
this is, I am disabled.
yeah, yeah,
There is things I am not able to do. Like,
yeah,
that is,
yeah.
I have to, like, label that and be okay with it. I am currently looking for a walking stick, which that's my one that I still don't want to call a cane because cane still sounds all medical.
Yeah. Walking stick sounds cool.
Cane
Sounds,
sounds
yeah,
cane sounds something like an old person has. I want a walking stick. I don't know. That sounds like something hikers use. So, but I'm still looking for one that's just like, and that's I don't want one that looks medical.
yeah,
And like, so I'm like accepting that this is a tool that I'm gonna need.
yeah.
Now
It's a
trying to accept that,
acceptance
like,
is a very long process, even with like new
it
things
is.
in. So I actually saw this girl on Instagram, I think, and she was talking about the cane issue with her was those two medical. So she decided to make it look like a something like a wizard would use. Like she put like a crystal ball on top and I was like, oh, that's actually dope. I want one.
Maybe
So
I should go
I
to a
think,
crystal shop. I
yeah,
have been like contemplating making my own
yeah.
because I
See, like you can
always
make it
do.
whatever you want. Now you could be like magical. People are like, oh my God, is she a witch? Like, you know what I mean? Magical
That's
powers.
actually a goal in my life is I would like people to question if possibly I might curse them.
I love that. People are like a little afraid of you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I want to live just far enough out that people think maybe something's going on out there
Yeah,
that we don't know.
I love that life goal.
Yeah, right? The for real life goals. I don't need to be rich or anything. I just want all of the like kids in the neighborhood to like
Be
try to
scared.
avoid my house because they think it's like bad luck or something.
I love that. That's so funny.
Yes. Those are the real life goals.
Yes.
Also, publishing books. So which version of self-publishing did you go through?
So
I
there
know.
was there
My
was a lot.
transitions, right? This is how the brain's working. This is how it's going through. So this is
This
how it's
is this
coming
is
out.
real
I
life for
can't
us. This is real life.
I can't do anything about it. So I've tried.
We're just too funny. Um, there was a lot of options for self-publishing. I decided to go through Barnes and Noble and Amazon, and I didn't want to go through Amazon, just to be frank, but I
Yeah.
liked the Kindle Unlimited option because I read a lot on Kindle Unlimited because I don't work, so I don't really have a lot of money. And so if I pay like the $10 a month, whatever it is, I read so much. I read like 10 books last month off of Kindle Unlimited. So I like that, like, if you don't have a lot of money, you could just read it for free and it could still help you. So
Yeah.
that's kind of the main reason I went through Amazon for that reason. But then I liked Barnes and Noble because I like to say like, oh, my book's in Barnes and Noble, like sounds fancy.
Absolutely.
There was other options like um, uh, a business called Lulu's, and they sort of distribute it for you, but you make a little less money from them.
Mm. They take a
And
cut.
it seemed like it was a pain in the butt, to be honest. A lot of people do like them because it's an easier way to get your book into bookstores, because they
Yeah.
kind of do it for you. Um, but and like you can buy in bulk from Lulu's if you
Okay.
so, but it just seemed like a lot for me at the moment because it was a lot of extra steps that you had to go through.
Yeah.
And I was like, that seems like too many spoons for me to deal with. And I'm like, I'm just gonna go with like the Kindle and then like Barnes and Noble. Um, and I can always put it on there if I want to. if the book's doing well, and I think that, I want it to go into like major bookstores. But because if your book is on Barnes and Noble self-publishing on the online option, you can go into a Barnes and Noble store and tell them that, and then they're more likely to put your book into their store and then buy it off their own website. So that's good with that. And yeah, so I was like, well, if I can get my book in Barnes and Noble stores by having it online, I was like, I don't need to go through the other places. So um, I decided to do that one. And the independent bookstores, I wanted to put my book in some like little stores around where I live. And so far, I'm waiting on a shipment, but my book will be in two independent stores around the North Shore. There's one in
It's
Winthrop
exciting.
and then one in Beverly, and they only take like 2 to 3 books at a time. But if they sell,
Yeah.
obviously you can bring more, and it's sort of
Yeah.
like on a consignment basis. Like they'll buy the book from you,
Oh, okay.
and they'll split the profit, and so then you'll get a check for like half of what they sold
Yeah.
for. So it's pretty easy. So you can still do that too. Like if you just wanted to keep it simple and just go through Barnes and Noble, just go through Amazon, you can still get your book into stores. It might just take like a little bit more work from you because the people from Lulu's aren't doing it for you. But
Hmm.
that's what I wanted to do. It seems simple, and I was just like, after the editing and writing process, I was like, I just need the simplest option because my brain is fried.
Go for that too. No, and the last person I was talking to, the last podcast I just did, she was an author as well, and she was saying the same thing about like Amazon. The like
Yeah.
didn't really want to, but and like I've talked to a lot of people who said that like Amazon's been by far the easiest and most profitable for them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we have overall decided that they are maybe only just a little bit evil.
They're like, okay,
Because like
and then other than that.
right? I mean, they're really good for authors. Authors are able to get their stuff out there, so like
Yeah,
pro
yeah.
that. Also, they accidentally became one of the most like accessible shopping options for people with
Yeah.
disabilities and people
Yeah.
in small places.
It's
So
true.
it wasn't a goal, I'm sure, but like
They definitely didn't care
they
about
could they
that.
could probably they could probably market on it, but like
Yeah,
yeah, they
yeah.
don't care at all that they did that, but they're also
Exactly. I know.
wonderfully
Happy
accessible.
accident,
Uh
but
yeah.
yeah, that's what I was like. My husband, I was trying to tell my husband. My husband was like, "No, you really need to put it on Amazon because it's like, he liked the Kindle Unlimited option too." And he was like, "Just like make your money from them, and then when you're big, you don't have to put it on Amazon." And
Yeah.
I was like, true. I was like, so that'd be the goal. I do, but again, the Kindle Unlimited option is really good because it does help with like finances for people. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay. And I still
And it
get
gets it
paid
out
off of
there.
it. Because like you get paid like by if you put your book on Kindle Unlimited, you get paid by like uh pages read.
Pages? Yeah.
So like how many pages you get read is like what percent of the profit or whatever you get
Yeah.
from them. So you're still getting paid. It's a little bit less than, but I mean, you're not really getting paid much for a book anyway. So like I think
Yeah, it's not a thing that people are getting very rich off these days
yeah, especially
unless
because like
it
when
gets crazy popular.
for Barnes and Noble and for Amazon it's pretty close because they print them.
Mm.
They take like 80% of it. So like you get like
That's a lot.
I get like $3 a book. So um and I was like, well, whatever.
After
Like,
we fix the medical system, let's fix that.
yeah, me and you were gonna single-handedly fix the medical system, and then we're gonna fix the self-publishing industry.
Jesus. The whole publishing industry actually, let's work on all of them because like traditional publishing is like so beyond
Mm-hmm.
accessible to most people these days, which I mean, like, I get that it doesn't have to be like the most accessible thing. It is like a pretty prestigious thing to have, but it's so crazy difficult these days, and then they're so into the social media of it all, and that's ugh.
Yeah.
But once you
Yeah.
do the self-publishing, I guess you have to do the marketing of it all as well.
Oh
So
gosh. Yeah. I'm like, I had to become like a content creator just because I wanted to write a
Mm.
book, and I'm like cringing at
Yeah.
myself every time I post anything online. I like send my stuff to my friends first, and I'm like, does this look embarrassing, or is this okay? And they're like, no, it's cute, put it up. And I'm like, you guys are lying to me, but I'm gonna put it up anyway. But I'm
Just
like,
post it all. Just
yeah.
post it all. There is no room for being embarrassed in business.
Sure, that's something I definitely had to overcome with this is like the whole like being like, insecure with yourself basically, and I
Yeah.
had to try to be more confident. I'm not very confident, but I've come a little bit like after seeing that like it was getting like my videos were responding kind of well to people.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, like I must not be like that bad. So I think it's been a lot of work to try to like think of ideas, and I try to stay up on trends too because I don't have
Yeah.
to like whatever trends are going on, I have to like make it into a book thing now and try to like do the book trend for it. And it can be exhausting. Like I have to take sometimes like I'll do stuff for like a week and keep up with stuff for like a week, and then like 2 weeks I'm like I can't do it because it's like so much energy. Now I have to go
Yeah.
nap or something because
Yeah.
it's taking a lot of brain power for all of that. But it's been okay. I mean, it's after I get over the cringiness, it could be fun. I just have to.
I think it's fun. Give less fucks.
Yeah,
What
basically that's my problem.
there is too you have too much going on to give fucks about what people think about your videos.
True, true. I like that. I like that. That's gonna help me a lot, actually. Like I have too much
Good.
going on to care
I
about your
hope so.
opinion. Yeah.
No, and what does their opinion matter anyways? Like if they
True.
didn't like it, the book probably wasn't for them, and if they did like it, then they're your people and you're
True.
set.
Yeah,
So,
and I've met a lot of really great people from it too, and
absolutely.
um, I've had people like I'll make some video. I'm like, this is the cringiest shit I've ever seen, and then I'll put it on TikTok, and then I'll have somebody comment on it and be like, oh my God, I just bought the book because of this video, and I'm like, oh, it was worth it. Okay.
Kidding. I have not been like I don't know. I'm not self-conscious to probably a fault. Like I'd probably do less embarrassing things if I was slightly more self-conscious, but it is what it is. Again, I can't stop it. So, I just started putting things out there and just like didn't care what people thought, and then like the self-consciousness really hit me when people did come back and tell me they liked it, and I'm like,
Exactly.
why? Like,
Like, what's
it's
wrong
just
with
me
you?
being silly. What are you talking about? Like, what do you mean you liked that? That
Yeah,
was
I know.
nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Then you're like, are you okay? Because why did you like that video? That was weird.
And it gets like so many views, and I'm like, oh, okay, like,
Yeah, and it's like
all
maybe
y'all.
I'm like low key famous.
Like, the marketing of it all.
Yeah,
No
marketing
one's,
marketing's the worst
no
part.
one's favorite thing. Like, I like marketing in a sense. Like, I like the creation side of
Yeah.
it all. But like, there's just like a whole bullshitty algorithm numbers side of it all that I just like,
Hmm.
roll my eyes.
Hmm.
Cannot.
Yes.
I know it. I understand it to the extent that my job requires me to,
Hmm.
but I don't like it. I like going for like what kind of content do I enjoy making?
Yeah.
What am I having fun with? What's connecting? Like what's
Yeah. Yeah.
what's fitting the vibe at the moment, not
Yes,
not
exactly. I
necessarily
know.
what's hitting all the numbers.
That's why I hate like trying to like stay up to date on all the trends and everything. So I'm like, I don't want to do it. I want to just make what I think is cute, but then it's like it's not gonna get pushed out,
Yeah.
and then like I'll spend like so much time on the video and be like, oh, this is like my best video yet, and then it'll get like 300 views, and I'm like, oh, and I feel sad. I'm like,
Yeah.
why? And then I'm like being insecure about myself, make myself feel bad about it. I'm like, no, it's just the stupid internet. It's not you. Yeah, it's definitely.
It's
I don't
definitely not you. It's definitely the internet.
know.
We always should be blaming the internet. It's the
Yeah, the
internet's
internet
fault
is
for
at
sure.
fault for everything.
Probably the medical system and for
Yeah.
sure the publishing systems and
Yep. That's where we got to start first.
I don't even think that's wrong either. Like they were being
There's
jokey,
something
but
to
like it's
that.
also probably not wrong. There's a little bit of a problem in there somewhere, I think.
Definitely. I
Oh my
wouldn't
gosh.
I wouldn't put it past it.
Jackie, thank you so much for coming and talking to me
Yes, of
today.
course.
Can you give us the whole where to find your book?
Sure, sure, yes. So you can find it on Barnes and Noble. You can also find it on Amazon. But make sure when you go on Amazon that there's like a for some reason there's like a duplicate copy on Amazon that Amazon won't take down, but the duplicate copy is like fake, and I don't understand what happened. So ignore that one and go to the one that says it will be delivered to you in 2 business days and you have Prime. Because the other one just says like no delivery date. So, and I've had people like,
Okay, so
on
look
that
for a
one,
delivery date. Got
yeah,
it.
look for the one that's like closer to you because that one,
Yeah,
that's the real one. And
that's
it's also
awesome.
on Kindle Unlimited. And if you're in the North Shore area of Massachusetts, it will be in the Beverly Bookshop and the Winthrop Bookshop.
That's
Within
so
the next couple weeks.
exciting.
So yeah.
I love it. I'll make sure I drop all of the links down below. Thank you again so much for coming and talking to us.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to call it there. If anybody else would like to come join me for a cozy chat and tell their story of their life with chronic illness and growing a business, please leave me a comment or reach out to me, and I will see you all next week. Bye.